So I want to let you know what we're up to on the progress of the game and what we've been doing lately. As you know, we are going to be doing our earlier access. That's literally next Friday. So that's coming right around the bend. Everyone who's involved in the earlier access program is going to be getting a copy of this game, and you're going to be able to play it. It's broken. It's not great. It's got all kinds of problems with it. It's got no sound. It's got no music. The effects kind of suck. There's a whole bunch of stuff broken. That's fine. That's what's earlier access. You're aware of that. But we want to get as much stuff playable and fun as we can before we go into earlier access. So right now, we have sort of two big things happening. One, oh my God, we have to get earlier access ready, and we're kind of finalizing stuff and menus and things like that for the earlier access. So that's part one of what we're up to right now. The other thing is we're finally building the goddamn campaigns. Which I've been wanting to do for a really, really long time. But the problem is, before you can start building your campaigns and make everything look good in the campaigns, you have to have enough of your game sort of solidified so that the things that you're doing in the campaigns make sense. Because, you know, if I build a whole campaign around these units or these powers or this whatever, and then I change those units and those powers and that whatever, I got to go back and change all the campaigns and blah, blah, blah. And it ends up creating a lot of double work. So you don't really want to build your campaigns until the gameplay itself is already pretty solid. And right now the game is pretty gosh darn solid. Problem is, and this is what we're going to be talking about in the stream, for the game to be fun in single player, the AI is going to have to be a hell of a lot smarter than it is right now. And because all of the campaign is by definition single player, we have a problem. And the problem is we're going out, we're building campaigns, and while we're building the campaigns, we're going to have to ask ourselves, is this fun? And the problem is, if the AI doesn't know how to play properly, the answer will be no. No, it's not fun. It's easy, and you roll over these AI. And what we'll end up having to do is we'll end up having to cheat and do all kinds of things to make the AI more powerful, even though it's not really doing that much. And then, as we improve the AI later, suddenly all of our campaigns will get really hard because we've already cheated to make the AI have all kinds of advantages. And then when the AI gets smarter, it will crush you like a bug. And so right now, the big push is talking about AI and how AI works. And we're going to talk about that later in the broadcast today. That's actually the topic we're going to be talking about. But in the update portion of this broadcast, that's what Adrian, the programmer on the project, is spending a lot of his time looking at right now is how do we improve the AI? How do we make the game behave smarter and play well so that we can go through and build the campaigns? So we've got sort of the art team working on, you know, UI and things that we need to finalize for the earlier access. We've got Adrian killing himself trying to make the AI smarter for the campaigns. And then Nelson and I, we're actually building campaigns. So I'm not going to tell you the story because it's a secret, but we actually put together, and by we I mean me, a relatively detailed version of the story that I presented to the team on Monday. And it's a big document. It's a big 12-page, lots of he did this to him, and then this thing happens here, and then we go here, and then we do that kind of document. It's still pretty high level, but it does sort of tell the story of the game. I presented it to the team, and the team met it with a rousing, yeah, man, whatever. So there was that. I don't know how to take that, but they didn't hate it, I guess. So there's that. I think some of them might have read it. Maybe Monica read it. I'm not sure. Who knows? Maybe they like it. Maybe nobody told me no, and so because nobody told me no, I'm going with it. That's the story. And so now we're getting into the let's go through and block out all of the details part of the process. So a little bit about the story. The story exists in chunks. And each chunk is the story of one of the people in the game. The first two chunks of the story are Olivia's chunk and Hollythorn's chunk. And we start out with Olivia. The story begins with Olivia, and we learn a little bit about what's going on in this story through Olivia's eyes. And we go through 4 missions with Olivia. And then it changes over to Hollythorn's viewpoint. And actually, at that point in the story, Olivia and Hollythorn are hanging out together. And so we actually have a mission with Olivia and Hollythorn where you're Olivia. And then we switch over to a mission where it's Olivia and Hollythorn, but you're Hollythorn. And then we kind of follow Hollythorn from there. And so the game continues in these sort of large chunks where I continue seeing this story unfold across the land through the different eyes of the people who are coming to Kothia, the people who are in Kothia, blah, blah, blah. It's pretty cool. I actually like the way it plays out. One thing that's nice about this is the whole story is kind of designed to be sort of soap opera-ish in the sense that it doesn't have a clear end. There's not like, and this is where we wrap up everything and it's all complete. It's sort of a constant thing, and it's a series of these, let me tell you about this person's life in this larger story of the reconquest of Kothia. I can keep telling those stories all day. And so right now there is scripted out to be, I think we've got 8 of these chunks, which is what, 8 by 4 is, what the hell is 8 times 4? 32. So it's like 32 missions right now. We may add more, we may pull some away, but basically when I add or pull away, we can do them in chunks. So I can just say, all right, we're going to pull the last chunk off and we'll put that in DLC if we decide the campaign is too long, or if we decide the campaign is too short, I can add another chunk at the end. But however it works, the idea is to continue putting new sort of episodes out after, and the first game will have a big, huge swatch of episodes. Here, have 30 some odd missions and play 30 some odd missions. After those 30 some odd missions are done, we will continually be updating the game with new content, new characters, new units that you can play. Importantly, new missions and new bits to the story, and we add those in chunks at the end. So that's how we're doing it. That's the process. That's where we are. Yeah, that's your update.